Well, Moatez, welcome to Wild Heart Athletics Podcast. So it's a pleasure to have you on and get to talk to you and really hear your story and dive in and learn about your sport and what you're doing. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd love for you to introduce yourself to our audience and our listeners.
Hello. Thank you, Ben, for that. Thank you for inviting me to have a chat, by the way. My name is Moatez. I live in London. I'm 35 years old. I'm a para-athlete. I do this for a living, and it's the more got just getting into it, really, and it's the Paralympics season.
Okay, so I know the Paralympics are coming up soon in August. Now, will this be your first Paralympics, or have you competed before?
I've competed before in the Paralympics. I did Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, 2016. That was my first Paralympics. One of the interesting comps I've ever been. So yeah, very different from other international championships. I'll say that.
I got you. So what was it like? I mean, getting the not really acceptance of being told you're going to get to go to Brazil and Rio and, compete in the Paralympics. What was that like?
At first, I saw it coming because I was doing well in the sport, but hitting the big stages where it's just like the world champ, doing the Euros and all that, you just like it's like another type of level of high. So when I got there, it really kind of kicked in. I thought to myself, oh, here we go. So Brazil is a very interesting place. I was actually surprised because of the bad press they've been getting. It is, like a third world country and all that. But it was completely opposite. It was just, the place was alive. People are nice. The competitions were very fierce. It picked up so much since I've raced a year before that in 2015, and it keeps getting faster and faster, the sport. Yeah, very intimidating to be there, but also wonderful.
Sounds like a great time. I'm sure it's cool. And then I take it, you were racing for England, correct? Because that's the country you reside in, or?
Technically, yeah, England, but it's technically it's Great Britain. You have it's a mixture of one nation kind of thing. So you got like Wales, Scottish, and English, and Northern Ireland. So it's kind of a mixture. That's why it's called Great Britain. So everybody from each corner of the world, only in Commonwealth where people can actually be selected for each individual country, like Wales, England, Scotland. That's just like a Commonwealth thing. But for internationals, it's called Great Britain. Yeah.
Okay, I should have known that, but I appreciate the correction.
That's all right. No problem.
So, what is your kind of chosen sport, and how did you get into it?
My chosen sport was wheelchair race, and I always wanted to do it for a long, long time. I just never got the chance. I wish I could have done it when I was younger, which is, I thought it was a pretty cool sport to watch. My influences were kind of a female racer back in the day. She was a living legend. I wanted to be like her. And the way I got into it was after I had my surgeries, and I was like early 20s, where I had nothing in my life going on. I've been kind of a rebellious kid who didn't want to now getting into trouble, and one life started kicking back at me. I thought, okay, I better do something with my life. Yeah, so that started to be an honorable path.
I got you. So you're kind of a rebellious youngin', and then you kind of found your sport. It was like, oh, I need to get into something before I get in more trouble.
Yeah, it's like I need to get my life together. So it took a couple of surgeries and being very ill and almost half to death, where I, almost died at some kind of blood poison. I thought to myself, I can't keep doing this anymore. So that's why life was just told you to, you need to stop it and do something useful. So yeah.
I hear it. Well, that's awesome. It looks like you've done really great. I mean, I think I saw on your profile that you medaled before. Like you said, you've gone to the Paralympic, which is cool. And right now you're racing. So would you mind telling us kind of like what it felt like the first time you ever got to go do your first wheelchair race?
Oh, yeah. My first ever wheelchair race was 2013. I think I was just a new pup, and I was really nervous but confident, because you get to, what we call a call room before you start a race, and everybody's having the jitters, and I'm just like the newbies, me and my friend just talking to each other, giggling each other out, like some weird outcast. And you got these Stanley pros who've been doing it for years, like focus with a serious face like this all the time. And but the first time get into the line, it was just a local game, people think of nothing of it, but to me it was a lot, because it was just something of, started something special. So when that gun went, I was free for like a minute, and it was like the best thing ever done, so I wanted more and more and more. So yeah. So from watching people do stuff, I'm doing it now. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
I like how you said that, and you mentioned that you like when the gun went off, you felt free. What do you mean by like you felt free? Could you kind of describe that for us?
It's just like a different feeling of just not being your real self kind of thing. I mean, you can be yourself anywhere else, but down there you're kind of that's your kingdom kind of thing. So it's just unleashing everything you've got, and just have that little rush in you, thinking this is it. You don't think, you just push, you just let the arms do the work. When it stops, you just hear waves come back at you again. Huh? What the hell just happened? So yeah, like that.
Do you like, I know a lot of athletes talk about they get into like sometimes this flow state or like everything just kind of fades away and they're just focused on that one thing. Does that happen to you?
Of course, yeah. You kind of have an imagination where you want to be at and how you're going to be and give it your best. But after that, something else just takes over and you just do it instead of just thinking about it. If you're doing like something like over there on the meters, you might think about it for a split second for your game changer. At certain like fast paced race where it just requires you just to go fast without thinking. That's when it's just a different kind of feeling and thought, which is none. It's none. It's waking people alive. You get lost in it.
No, I can understand and see that. So now, have you always had kind of like a competitive spirit, or you feel like that's kind of been developed over time throughout your races?
I like to say that I did. I think I always wanted to try things. I'm always a bit of a show off when I was a kid with the wheelchair and stuff, because I got people around with disabilities. Some of them they can't move or have the same physical movement, and they always might try things, and I always wanted to try things they did because they're doing things that I wish I could do. And I thought, yeah, I just want to just like prove myself kind of all the time. When I was a kid, and I was a cocky little one. I thought, when I was a kid, try to show up with a wheelie, getting down from the floor to your chair without any help. That was easy when you were a kid. So yeah, so I always wanted to compete, and sometimes it kind of got me into trouble. So yeah, but yeah.
You keep mentioning that word trouble. I'm kind of curious, what kind of trouble are you getting into?
Well, it's just for example, when I was a kid, because I used a manual chair, and they told me I cannot use the electric chair, for example. So I ignored the sister's protocols, and I said, okay, I won't do it. And I did, and I put full throttle on both sides of the wheel of the electric chair and just went flying. And then I threw it, well, I wouldn't say tripped on a wheel, but yeah, I went flying after that. After that, they told me I was banned. They gave me the red card, whatever that is.
I gotcha. So they kind of were like, no, you're too wild for the electric chair, so we got to give you a manual one.
I was going for a Tokyo trip. I ended up nowhere.
I hear you. Well, when you kind of got into, you're talking about when you first went to like your wheelchair races and stuff like that and got involved in the community, that, you were there with your friends, stuff like that. You guys are kind of the new guys versus right there with, I guess you could say semi-pro or the pro wheelchair racers. What's the community like? And is there kind of like that typical, I guess you could say, feelings that you have when you join a new team and you're the new guy versus the people that have been there before? Do you guys kind of experience that, or is it the same, or is it more kind of accepting and getting you in and showing you the ropes because you're an adaptive community?
Yeah, so it's like everything else you go, really. Anywhere you go is kind of the same. So what I mean by that, when you join a new academy or new community, you're always gonna get the same thing like who's this guy and who's this, and everyone's nice at first, and until you meet people who are faster than you, then you want to be like them. Then once you kick their butt, they start acting weird. So it's like being in the office, you start as a new guy, then they're all the time, who's this guy? But the community that after that, being involved in different places and going to teaching for, it's a fan community. You get to meet a lot of different characters, I think, which is what I love about the sport. That you get to meet not just people, cultures and stuff, and everybody has their way of thinking, new ideas, and some things you consistently learn it all the time. And obviously you forget after that, for some weird reason. But yeah, the community itself, it just grows. You get to meet, there's always new people, those new unique people, and they're all accepted. And obviously there's going to be people they don't get along now. So there you go. That's nice.
That's fair. Since just like every other place in the world, you got the people you get along with and the people you don't.
Yeah, places change. People stay there. Well, the social construct.
That's fair. I hear you. Was there someone that kind of stood out that really kind of took you under their wing or gave you a little bit of like a mentorship as you progressed through your career in racing?
Yeah, the first person I think I ever met that I didn't know I joined, his academy was, I don't know if you heard of David Weir.
Personally, no.
Yeah, so because I started early 2012, and he was going through training for the Paralympics back then, 2012 Paralympics. And as it happened, the academy was like 20 minutes away from where I lived. After I just moved out to start fresh and all that. And over the years, he took me under his wing, and he just kind of learned new things from him and stuff. And he's just a different type of youth. So yeah, I would say him. Yeah, David.
What kind of things did he teach you about the sport that like you carry with you today?
When you go into competition, make sure that, once you open a drink of water, always ask for a new one, even though you drank from a different one, just in case you don't get antidote to a drug, just to avoid all these stuff. And I thought, this can't be real. This is like something out of a movie. No, seriously, that does happen. Make sure you always order new water. Don't just, finish the bowl halfway and just, finish the rest. Just always order a new bottle of water. And he always tells me, some tactics now and then, but I just have to keep up with it. All those tactics. Water works then because he's a bloody elite. Like, another things. So, what comes to like equipment, gloves, the way I should train sometimes. And when I'm have to be back in the core room, for example, what type of mindset I should be. Yeah. And
I gotcha. You mentioned testing, which I'd love to talk about a little bit, because I was talking to a cyclist, and she was telling me, because you guys, do participate in Paralympics, that you're treated just like the Olympic athletes, where you got to do all your testing. It's like you got to let you know where your whereabouts are. If you're taking medications and supplements, you have to give them all of that. Is that the case for you guys as well?
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Most of us have to let other, like with anti-doping leagues, we have to let them know where we are. But I haven't gotten to that type of criteria yet, be on their radar, but they do knock on your door, irregardless of your status, position. They'll just come at you like 3 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning, knock on your door, wanting those samples and everything else. And if you don't see the right amount, they'll follow you to the airport till they get the sample out of you, which would be extreme. But it's still true. These guys are like behind. But
And is this for like every race, or is it just for like when you're trying to run, or when you're attempting to go and do your races to get in for the Paralympics?
It's pretty much a mixture of everything. Let's say if you win medals and you haven't medaled for a long time, or you keep medaling unusually, then yes, they'll just test you. If you've been away for a while from the game, all of a sudden you make a progress, they're going to test you. They'll just call you out of nowhere, and you won't see them coming. It's just dependent on where you are. They'll just get onto you. So yeah.
Have you ever been, I guess, caught up at like the most inconvenient time?
When I was in Switzerland, actually, I literally just went to the bathroom and waiting to finish my breakfast, and all of a sudden, before I go on the coach, they said, "Before you leave, can you take a sample?" I said, "Dude, I can't, because the bus is just not just for me, it's for everyone from around the world. They're not going to speak for me." Because that's okay, we'll just follow you. That's what I meant. They were following you to the airport. These guys are serious. So yeah, so they kept drinking, feeding me water and everything else until they got the right sample. So yeah, so that was the most inconvenient. Yeah,
I heard. Yeah, we've I remember having to do random drug testing for the military sometimes, and like you'd wake up, use a bathroom, and you'd get the call like, "Oh, we're doing it this morning at work," and you're like, "I just used it. Now you got to sit there and chug water."
Really? And then they're like, "Oh, how come?"
Just sometimes a lot of units get or popping on random drug tests, because they do it all the time, every so often, depending on what's going on. But like you said, it's inconvenient. Like you said, they'll follow you around, so sometimes you got to sit there and you're trying to drink the water, and you're like forcing yourself to try to have to go.
Yeah, no. I think as a compliment, that means I'm doing something right, or people might say, "Well, did something wrong." Either way, well, I take it as a compliment.
Yeah, your world is a compliment. Mine's not so much. But that's all right.
And yeah, I guess, perspective, I guess. Yeah. How long you been in the Army for?
So I actually been out for a couple of years. I did it was 2012, 2017. So I was in the military for 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no problem. It was a good time. So you keep talking about like I think you said it was not the ready room, but right before you get to the races, you keep saying the room. I can't remember.
The call room.
The call room. Now, when you're in the call room and you're kind of getting ready, do you have a ritual you go through to kind of get your mind right for the race or anything like that?
A lot of people should talk about rituals and stuff. I just go into like an empty mind zone, and it's very difficult because you got so many wheelchairs backed up to you, and they're always giving you the eye or checking your chair out and stuff. And in your head, thinking, "What are you looking at?" You know. No, you talk to these guys like, "What are you looking at?" And they always have to put these helmets and these visors to intimidate, some kind of Japanese anime kind of thing, like to be intimidated. It's like, what are you doing? But with me, it's just like I look down and I try to stretch now and then and just take deep breaths and just think to myself, I came all this way. I got to finish, but that's it. That's what comes across my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, so you're just like really mindful of like your breath and kind of try to, get some external focus and not focus on what's going on around you.
Because you don't get a lot of, after you warm up, you go down to the core and your body just cools down and you need to kind of boost to keep your heart rate up going kind of thing. And it's very tricky, very, very tricky to, kind of copy the type of breathing you do while you're training when you're standing still or sitting still in a core room. So yeah, it's just stretching, just deep breathing or heavy breathing, anything just to keep the body going and not into lazy mode.
No, I can understand that. Would you mind telling us about the process for the call room? I've never heard of it before. It sounds really interesting.
So the call room it's kind of a schedule. So you always have to be 20 minutes inside this room where they check you in, they check your brakes, they check your numbers. Obviously, they're checking you here. So you go through the first call room. They make sure there's no kind of brand or any tattoos, because some tattoos you can't show because they kind of might, have copy infringement or logos that you don't represent. So they cover that with tapes unless sometimes fair with the equipment, like your brake, or they use flimsy tape that can just come off when you're racing and stick to your glove. So you go into that and make sure everything is well and noted. Then you go through the final call room. You just sit there for like another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just do a minute race. It's like a half an hour doing that, doing your mind.
Oh, that's a lot. 30 minutes.
Yeah. It's not you're in the call. It's not one of them where you just call you and then you race 20 minutes, 15 minutes before that. Oh yeah, that's why everybody tries to warm up as much as they can before the half an hour. The tricky one. I'm still learning how to get better at that because you never really get it right. But yeah.
What things are you trying to do to improve for the call room?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably just put some kind of what we call rollers, where you put your chairs in there so you can just keep your heart rate. Think of it as a kind of a treadmill for wheelchairs. Let's say that. Just to warm up, just keep going. But there's not much space.
Oh, that's really cool. Rollers. That's interesting.
Yeah, the cool roller. It's like a manual thing where you just put your chair in there. You just roll, and then just think of it like a hamster, just time to tack your roll in. I know it sounds weird, but that's how I describe it. Treadmill or hamster roll. The mainly used for cardio, and if it's raining, if you can't push outside, it's like an indoor.
Oh, okay. Do they do races indoors if it rains, or how does that work?
Oh, they never do. I think they're done in the indoor race ever. So no. I wonder what that feels like. I'm very curious. I think you'll get like hard time because there's no wind, because the wind affects the code. You just get perfect timing. I wish they did.
Yeah. Do you get a ego boost because your times would go down by a couple of seconds, maybe, you think?
Yeah, of course it will. 100%. I think it goes for everyone.
Okay, so you guys do actually race in the rain, things like that?
Yeah, you do. Unfortunately, not my friend, which is not my friend. Well, because you get these gloves, right? And some of them, and some kind of cliché, so like sticky stuff that goes in weird. Some of them work for you, some they don't, because they're going to this glossy kind of slippery stuff, so you slip quite a lot. And some of them with the material, you can use sandpaper to stick onto your glove, so you can race, depending on how you get at it with it. But I never really mastered the art of racing in the rain because I tried to avoid it, and that's one of my stop avoiding going with it.
One of these days, there's always time to train weakness,
I know.
I hear it. Well, speaking of training, what is your like training like throughout the week and kind of throughout the season?
Oh gosh, it goes really tough during the winter just to get prepped into these spring races. So it goes very tough during the winter. You gotta do the hard work in the winter, like 4 days a week. That you cruise gym, road work, road race, road endurance race. Push track, rollers. So that's like 4 times a week, 3 days a week, depending on how you feel personally. Because you gotta tell the coach, how you feeling. Why there's no progress now. Sort of about the quality quantity. But yeah, it's tough during the winter than it is during the race season. Because in the race season, you just got to work on the stuff that you already worked on in the winter. You just got to be more sharp. So yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of building that like base that you need for the races, and then when it comes race season, you're only working on specific things.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Everyone is different. When it comes to race, though, you get to work on your weakness, as we discussed. Which part you want to improve on, either your start, your power, your change, your drive before you get long haul. So yeah, a lot of things to work on. So you got to watch yourself in the video consistently to see where you flop or where you can improve. Like there's loads of them.
Do you have kind of like a favorite training method that you enjoy most?
Yeah, of course. I don't just watch myself. I just watch other races where I can just analyze them. Okay, some of them have so much unique strength, and it's crazy. You think to myself, oh my god! And everybody starts to spy on them to see how they deal with their training, to see if you should mimic them. Like that is so sad. but you do anything just to improve the little things. You would have to ask people. Sometimes they're not going to give you how they do it. Sometimes you've got to learn this stuff on your own. It's all in there. Rapist,
Well, okay, so people try to hide their secrets from you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think everybody does. I mean, I was, but I'm going to drop to the world either way. I can show them the many, and I feel for being greedy. So, yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I can understand that. So because you guys start from a dead start, correct?
Sorry?
Do you start from like a dead start when you go?
Or a head art? Yeah. So what standard start?
Standard start. Okay.
Well, so we saw that definitely. Yeah, we do. It's just like one of the funnest things to do, sitting next to someone doing the standing start, and everybody's just like moving their arms around, and no one can actually move until someone actually everyone's standing still. So everybody's just holding up like that, like a stick. Until someone just stands to the stage still before the mark set goes. Yeah, so that gets a bit, but yeah, that's when the excitement starts. Yeah.
Do you have a really good start, or have you had to work on yours?
I'll consistently have to work on mine. It's very important. It's how you start is very crucial, very crucial. It's the difference between getting a head start or the late start. So it's very crucial. You're not always going to get it 100%, but it's how you recover from that as well. So you want to do as much as possible to work on your start so you won't have struggle.
So what do you think is like the hardest part about the standard start for you?
It's the first 2 or 3 pushes, because you have to just do a quick elbow twitch. The whole body has to stay still, just let the arms and the elbows do the move. And everybody's got a different way of doing that. Everybody has an advantage of their weight, the arm strength. Everybody comes in, all disability come in different sizes and shapes, strength and weaknesses. And some of them are good at start, some of them have a crappy start, and they finish with a strong finish and they win. You'd be surprised. So yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of skill development along with strength conditioning.
Oh yeah, sure. You have to do that. I get with with benches, working with shoulders and stuff, just to get all those things right. Yeah, you just have to mimic what you raise all the time. You have to mimic anything to do with racing. You got to do it in the gym. You got to mimic every movement, every fiber of it, which is tough. Especially because someone can just beat you. I think it's damn, I did all that work. Well, I can put wrong, but that's the part of the thing.
Yeah, which is something you guys have, because you guys are athletes just like those out there, like able-bodied athletes. I mean, you guys put in a lot of work.
Yeah, we try. It's not the easiest thing. Not the easiest thing, but it's got to work at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine it being hard, but it's still admirable, to watch you guys perform and train.
Right.
I said I know it's hard, but I said, from the outside looking in, it's very admirable to watch you guys train, because you guys put in a lot of hard work and effort, especially some of the adaptive athletes I've watched and seen compete before.
Oh, of course. We'd love to make it look easy. I do that when I'm not racing at all. I just literally buy a popcorn on purpose just to watch everyone race because they just make it look so easy and it's so entertaining. Then I'll be like, God damn, that is so difficult. Myself in their shoes and figure stuff that is so hard, but I have no idea. But it's just so, like I said, it's so amazing to watch. It's so crazy. There's so many different emotions, man. Yeah.
So what kind of emotions do you experience watching others perform?
Oh, my heart rate just elevated, literally like nothing, like butterfly myself. Wow. It's just like, wow, it's a feeling I don't get when I'm racing. I just feel like you can just feel every racing's energy all in one go because you know what they're going. And it's just, you get excited and you just get a bit like anxious because of how close they are to each other and everything else. You just know which athlete you want them the most to win, and most of them you respect. One of them, deserve to win. One of them deserve to be out. You just all that type of accumulation of every emotion you can feel, and it's so fun to watch and it's so fun to feel. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you have that specific athlete that you really want to win. So are you guys set up with you have clubs that kind of compete against each other and then you guys go to these races and then so within that club you're watching those guys compete and that's who you're rooting for?
Yeah. So everybody will go on academy now. This OB in South, and obviously you're friends with some other people from different academy. You want them to do well because you know them, and it's winnish because go it's just it's a weird one. Yeah, it's very weird, but it's fun. It's not doing it and clap. You're wearing the uniform of your own team, and you're rooting for the other team, and because that's your friend as well. So we don't really pick.
I hear you. Well, I mean, I can understand that too. You're kind of I'm for this team, but secretly I want this guy to win too because he's, you say, his friends.
What was the case? But you got to show support. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care. No, seriously, I don't. So it's I get the fact that you got to support your team, but you can also support people that they work hard for. It's very important. It's a sportsmanship plus another friendship. So I think you just want it because that person because you know what they're going through and you just be happy for them. That's what it is.
Yeah, and like you said, I think the key thing is you've been in those shoes before. You know exactly what they're going through.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta support anyone that is trying to make it. I think they can. You'll be surprised they can improve you as an athlete as well because some new athletes are so gifted they can catch up to you. You can be doing it again for years and they'll catch up, and it's fun to have that. And you can have the young thing kicking your butt, but you'd be happy because you can, and you can improve as a person too. So. It's like breaking a bar and just going to another one and to see how far you can take it.
Yeah, that was well said. And so, kind of continuing on that, supporting other athletes and stuff like that, how important is it to have that, support in, the community, especially the adaptive athletic community?
I think it's important. I've seen people actually not rooting for anyone or wanting someone to do it, which is, I think, is the wrong thing to do. You should never take this sport very personal. It is, at the end of the day, a fun place to be. So, of course, I'm not going to explain it. One of us to describe the whole thing. Basically, just don't be an idiot.
That's fair.
Don't be an idiot. Don't be that guy. If you want to be a real with it, you're going to want everyone to win too. And, you never lose out. I just don't like it when people they take things personal. They get political about stuff. I just stay away from that, man. You got to. It brings people no good. I've seen it before, and it's no way I want my environment ever, because it just it kind of strengthens your growth.
Yeah, I think that's it, right? Like you said, it stunts your growth, and not supporting someone and taking it very serious when. Like you mentioned, it's a fun thing to do. It's a great thing because you have this community. You guys can support each other. And, a lot of people, I know some athletes have told me that it's completely changed their life getting involved in the sport that they are currently in.
Of course. No. Yeah, you have to be that person. But you also got to have an edge game to it. You got to go up to them and say, well done, congratulations. You be like, next time I'm going to kick your butt. You got to keep it going. You got to keep the flow going. You got to keep the competitiveness of that sport. You don't want it to be too happy. You want it to be like a sport, because it just brings out the best of everyone. You just got to keep it competitive as well. You're going to say that what you got, all that stuff, let's go, even more. And you're like, yeah, you're on, why not? It's just make more interest clear. It's nothing to talk about off the track. That's the fun bit, because you get to see from different perspectives of racing. Like you can do a 5K, they'll say, like, I was in this position, but no, I was in this position when you hit it this, you watch the video and like it points out where you actually felt, at one point a degree, which is amazing. So it's fun to watch people analyze themselves in and watch themselves have fun.
I like how you said, you got to keep that competitive spirit still, but at the same time, it's like giving that little jive. It's like, well, I'll get you next time. Don't worry, I'm coming.
Well, you have to keep it that way. Otherwise, it'll be just like, a breakfast club, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You want it to be all the testosterone and all that challenging, all that stuff. You gotta have something to aim for with people. You gotta push people, they'll push you back. It also pushes yourself. So it's all good. So that's why I like the sport, because it's all about speed, and just using your mind and see how, who's gonna crack first.
Yeah, that's a great explanation. All about speed. I like that.
All will be. That's why I like the game.
Do you have any kind of like aspirations for your future, or?
Gosh. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. I do have a coaching bag, or a coaching assistant bag, but I'm still learning for myself. So I'm still a student. Even though I've been in the game for years, I'm still a student because I'm still discovering. I'm still learning from myself and other people. So I can't say what I want to do now, but we'll see. We'll see what age would I be while I stay out and start my own academy now.
Hey, you never know. One day.
You never know. A lot of people said that. You never know. Look at them now. They're opening their own academies. But yeah, I might get a young Vin Diesel one day. Great, and not.
That's true. I guess we'll have to wait and find out, won't we? Be looking for it.
Of course, definitely.
So I thought it was funny because you were talking about watching the races and eating popcorn. So kind of going off of that, do you have to kind of, because you mentioned weight as well, as far as like speed, shoulder, stuff like that, strength, but considering weight and you eating popcorn, do you have to kind of be very specific about your nutritional intake, or are you kind of just like, I have every day is a cheat day, or?
Everything in moderation, I like to say. I'm the worst with the diets, admit. I'm the worst with that. No, seriously, one day I could be eating healthy as hell, and the next day myself, oh, that's a nice or lying. So, but yeah, everything in moderate. I'm not the professional at it, I must admit, but I try. My mind, my mind has good thoughts, but my behavior, good intentions versus actual behavior. Yeah. But to be all fairness, you do have to be like way side, because some of them, if you just enough weight, it will literally, you won't feel great. I would know that. I'm a skinny guy by nature on the legs, and if I eat too much, my small tiny thighs not get inside that chair, because everything is built has to be made, man, to that specific size that you're big, man. Once you put that little weight, it just screws. I mustn't want you screwed. But yeah, you gotta be careful. Sure, you gotta pick one to treat yourself as well. It's in the comforters. With the popcorn bit, I hope popcorn was the healthiest.
I mean, it's so lightweight, depending on how much butter you put on it. If you put butter on it,
I'm more of a sweet guy. Yeah.
That's very like the you ever had caramel corn or anything like that?
No, but I would like to do that when I'm in America. So.
That's fair. That's not bad.
I would love to be there. I only went to America once, and it was in Indianapolis. Yeah, and I wish I could have stayed there longer, because there was a competition, we'll call it the Pascal racing, kind of a tournament. So you do the actual racing, then there's like a special event in Indianapolis where you do all the kind of hang your it just so you can be the other guy. And if you win, you get to drink milk out of this cow-shaped stuff. So you drink the cow statue. So yeah, so it was pretty fun. It was a good day. Yeah, I had fun there. So, that's one thing I would admit, probably, I learned that my racing there as well.
That's fair, but it was a interesting experience to watch people drink from something like that.
Well, crazy, but okay. I'll be like, okay, I've seen everything. Next one, you chain on without drinking milk from a cow. Okay, sweet, why not?
Only in America, I guess, is the best thing for that.
You got to keep food. That's one of them, or one way to go.
I'd like to circle back, because you were talking about kind of your custom made wheelchair. What's the process to kind of get your like wheelchair fitted and customized and things like that? And the reason I asked, because had a girl was telling her process for getting a prosthetic leg, and she's like, it's like a week-long process, and sometimes it doesn't even get, created right, or we got to start over.
Yeah, no, she had the point. When it comes to getting a custom chair, I started with a second-hand chair, which is whatever fits me. So I started with that. Then progressed. Your body shape changes. I mean, funny enough, somehow your hips get smaller, and or your body shape gets smaller or leaner, so you have more space in your chair. So you kind of wrestle when you race. So they try to find you another second-hand chair that fits you to see if it's any better or not. You go to certain places where they measure you out how you want your position to be, if you want it to be more aerodynamic style. So yeah, I mean that process takes months for them to build. There you go for the first measurements, then you go for the second measurement, and it's a very expensive experiment. I mean, you just pay like thousands of pounds to the manufacturer, and one thing goes wrong because it's all aluminum, like it's all built in. They can't change nothing about it. You just got to find another couple of grand just to start lower again. I mean, right? Though I've seen people just put in a second mortgage to get the best chair out there, just to get get good chairs. I mean, the latest chair, like the Swiss built, is like 40 grand.
Yeah, 40 grand.
Yeah, so yeah, if you look up the Marcel Hugh, the Silver Bullet, he's the one, and his community in Switzerland and engineers came up with that. So probably a few hands of people got that with them at the moment. So yeah. So I mean, the chairs itself, basic chairs cost like 7 grand, 10 grand. But these guys just spend 45 for extra, for the wheels to go with them. Like buying an iPhone, you just gotta buy it with. I don't know. Yeah, I stepped up. I'm telling you, big time. Science just got involved, big time.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, if you're talking like you said, I guess you said a basic chair was like anywhere from 7 to 10 grand. Then you got the 40 grand. So it's like the Ferraris, I guess, a wheelchair.
Great. Yeah, pretty young. Yeah, with the custom chair, you got to be very meticulous with it as much as you can. One misaligned, you're done for. So. I mean, it happened to me twice. I wanted this never work because I can have a good position, but my arm won't reach the bottom, or I won't have that leg I need. I call it the power through. But yeah, it's insane.
So, how did you solve when yours were like not made correctly? How did you solve that problem?
I can have some more money. So yeah, I mean, the arches where you can take the pod, which is the base that you sit in, and you can reattach it to the main base of the chair. It might not be correct, but it kind of helps with the seating position. I mean, and all things go wrong. I mean, some chairs go with it, some chairs go in without any attachments. They're just built in one. You can't really change it. That's the terrible thing about the whole thing. Yeah, like when the alignment scratch back to scratch.
I gotcha. So it sounds like it's better to get one of those chairs that kind of has different components that are built in different parts instead of one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. Those ones will do until you figure out what you want, what position you really want, until you come in enough, you get that whole shape of the chair for yourself. So yeah, man, it's never getting easier. Believe me, it's a very expensive experiment. Very expensive experiment.
Yeah, sounds like it. That's insane. I mean,
and it's most in the plan. It's not a week. You'd be lucky to have that type of week. So I think the only country I know that can build a chair for you within 2 weeks is Japan, but you have to be there for them to do it. But that's an expensive trip itself. So yeah, I mean, that chairs are great, but there's no one can sit it for a week, managing more money over more money to get a chair, to pay more money to it. So yeah, you go and trust the universe, I guess, at some point.
I guess, or like you said, you got the I don't want to say hand-me-downs, but the second-hand chair that you're talking about, and it's good that you guys have that availability. Is it pretty easy to get those? Like, is there like a good little place you guys can go and find those, or people are like, hey, this didn't work out, maybe this will fit you and stuff like that?
I don't know how easy they are to get. I mean, a lot of people go in other places that can get their hands on, really. What you got to say is, I want a kiddie chair or medium-sized chair. You know, you'd be lucky just to get to that actually fits you, you know, or most athletes, because some athletes are really tall, newly injured, like spinal cord people that want to try the sport just to start their life again. Very difficult to find a chair that suits them, because most para athletes, as you know, square, you know, SpongeBob SquarePants, upper body, then you got like skinny legs at the bottom, which really fit the, you know, newly injured people, which, you know, normal growing type. And it's very difficult or get any of them. So we got to rely on donation or people not using their chairs or, yeah.
I gotcha. So is there a way people can like help donate?
I guess if they want to donate, they just look up, you know, into the website and say, you know, how they're going to donate race charity. Like, I don't know the process myself, but I mean, who does? I mean, if you're ex-wheelchair race, I'm sure they know who to go to or who they can give it to. But yeah, it's a lottery. It's a big one.
Gotcha. But is there a way people from like on the outside can maybe contribute or help?
I don't think so. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of people from here, like, let's say, like the Western culture, most of us, even here, our friends, we get like Instagram messages from people like from Africa and stuff asking for donation for their racing, and I feel pretty bad. Right? I feel pretty bad for literally not giving any spare parts, with might need that in case one spare part falls off, or if I need that chair, just in case that chair breaks in the airplane, because you just gotta think about yourself, really. Yeah, it's terrible. It's horrible. It's one of them things. It's one of them struggles where you want to help, but you gotta look after yourself first. And that's the honest truth, really. You wish I could help everyone. I wish I could just say, look, you have got potential. Here's time around and get yourself a chair. Use it widely, which I know you won't, because you're not going to be special. It's not going to be great. Just give it. You got to give someone a shot.
Yeah, I can hear what you're saying. That's I get where you're coming from too. Like you said, you got to kind of, if you can take care of yourself, then you can eventually take care of others. But like you said, it's kind of hard, and you need those spare parts, because when you're transporting those things, like you said, on airplanes, stuff like that, you don't know what's going to happen. So that makes total sense.
Of course, yeah, no, 100%. I wish I could. I wish I could in the perfect world. You know, I really could. I wish, you know, and let's try to Jeff Bezos. Look, dude, I thought, you know, a million people would need a chair. Can you spare, 10 grand, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I hear you there.
Well, you didn't have to pay any taxes. Think about it. It's a win-win.
That's true. There you go. There are benefits to donating and things like that. You're not wrong.
The win-win, but in the perfect world.
Yeah, which unfortunately it's not, which is a hard thing to swallow sometimes.
Yeah, but here we are.
Yes, sir. Here we are. Well, Moatez, I really appreciate your time tonight. So I know it's kind of late there, so I want to make sure you kind of get some rest and stuff and get ready for your training tomorrow. But again, it was kind of an honor and pleasure to have you and to talk to you and hear your story and get some inside tips. Is there kind of going forward, where can people kind of follow you and follow your journey towards going to the Paralympics and things like that?
Well, just Instagram. Instagram is the main place if you want to follow me down there. I'm on Twitter as well, but I'm not really active on Twitter that much. But Instagram, I think, is the way to go. So yeah, but either way, Twitter or Instagram, I'm your man. Just be there. Yeah, just follow now. It'll be with that. For the fans, just supporting.
All right, sounds good. Well, we'll push it a little bit, and hopefully we'll get you some more fans.
I appreciate that. And thank you so much for this. Is my first podcast, actually. It was cool. So yeah, you're my first. That's awesome.
All right, perfect. Well, we'll definitely have you on again, because I'm sure this podcast will keep going. So
yeah, just let me know about it, and hopefully I can steer you in a bit more. So yeah.
Yeah, when you get that busy schedule, we'll see if you can work me in.
Of course, sir. No problem.
All right, you have a great evening.
You too, sir. Take care of yourself.